terrorist organization.
He started reading ISIS material, started going to ISIS websites, making TikTok videos.
The FBI also says he met with an undercover officer whom he thought was an actual ISIS member. A man from western Wisconsin faces murder charges for killing a hospital security guard in Minnesota.
35-year-old Jonathan Winch from St. Croix Falls allegedly tried to escape the emergency department on Christmas Day when he attacked a woman at Health Fairview Lakes Medical Center just north of Minneapolis. He then tried to steal a hospital emergency vehicle. 43-year-old Andrea Merrill died from traumatic head injuries in the assault. Winch faces a second-degree murder charge. If convicted, he could face up to 40 years in prison. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
The United Nations is apologizing for its affiliation with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement after facing backlash from tribal members for the business venture. Oneida Chairman Tahasi Hill says he was unaware that one of the tribe's subsidiaries, Oneida Engineering, Science, and Construction Group, had a contract with ICE until December 29th, saying in a broadcast he was very upset when he learned about the contract. According to the tribe, the contract with ICE was for inspecting facilities and ensuring they are up to code and provide humane standards. The tribe has since canceled its contract with ICE. A new year means you'll now pay more to ride on the Milwaukee County Transit System. As part of the 2026 plan, bus fares now cost $2.75. Route frequency reductions will also start this month across MCTS. County Executive David Crowley tells WTMJ.
We are spending close to about $6 million, maybe $9 million in ARPA transit-related funds that we've had. We've infused $5 million as well to make sure that we can continue to keep these routes going. But we need to continue to take a hard look at how do we sustain this system moving forward.
The winter service plan will reduce the frequency on 16 routes starting January 11th. 5 more routes will see service reductions and shorten route length starting March 8th. The nation's best long-track speed skaters are in Milwaukee this weekend.
Winter Olympic dreams are on the line this weekend at the Pettit National Ice Center.
You're going to see really great performances, personal bests from people. They're going to put their whole effort into skating here because they'll have the energy of these local fans, the energy of their families.
U.S. speed skating long track press officer Alicia Rumler tells WTMJ.
Last trials was actually in COVID, and so there weren't fans allowed in the venue. So it'll be a really great opportunity to see their success on ice with all of their fans and family cheering them on.
Racing at the Pettit is throughout the entire weekend here in Milwaukee. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time 7:04.
It's a robber, and if you ignore it, it will just keep taking and taking. I know how pain can consume you. It steals the fun out of life. It steals your energy. And it's just a dark cloud over a lot of people's lives, even on the sunniest of days. But your joint pain does not have to rob you of your life or your happiness. Because at Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that can rejuvenate your life. In a world where big box healthcare has driven pain treatment costs through the roof and has made it look like joint replacements are your only option, Rejuvenex has kept pain treatment affordable for almost anyone. And for most with insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, we've seen pain treatment paid for by insurance with zero out-of-pocket cost to our patients. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. Don't let pain rob you. Take action today so we can help make your joint pain go away.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today and there's a good chance we'll see you tomorrow.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text BILL to 231231 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text BILL to 231231. That's BILL to 231231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Packers kick off against the Vikings tomorrow at noon. Bucks play the Kings tomorrow at 8. The Admirals play the Stars tonight at 7 in Texas. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. At the moment, it's all clear out there. I'm not seeing any major incidents nor any major delays.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty. At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly cloudy, high of 25. Overnight tonight, clouds increasing, low of 14. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 30. Monday, a chance of morning snow, high of 38. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, high of 40. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, high of 40. Right now in Madison, it's 13. In Green Bay, it's 12. In Waukesha, it's 15. And in Milwaukee, we are at 16 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton in Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:07.
This is The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. When it comes to home repairs, we could all use a guide. Well, we've got the guide, and we've got the show. For all your home improvement questions, we've got answers. This is The Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Dayton, Kane, and David Nason.
Welcome to the first show of the year, 2026. David Nason, how are you?
I am great. I feel like I've been gone all year. Boom.
All right, yes, 3 days into a new year, we have our first show, and we started it off with that joke. I like that. Right. I apprate that. Isaac is in the producer's booth, so if you have questions
he hasn't been here all year
comments, you can call in.
I'm sure he has been. You're the workhorse of this station.
That's what they say.
Yes. Yeah, good. Thank you. Right.
Yes. Thank you for what you do. Okay, so we all had a holiday in here.
Right.
New Year's Eve. You said you had some surf and turf.
Yeah, we went out for dinner.
Nice.
With my sons, actually. One of them was bartending. The other one ate with us. So we had a nice dinner.
Nice. We went to a friend's house. They did stuffed pork tenderloin, some shrimp on the Barbie.
Yeah.
It was delicious. And good time.
And I actually stayed up till midnight.
You did?
So
did I.
I will admit there have been a few years in the recent past that I have not stayed up that past night. I'm more of a morning person.
So our plan was at 11 o'clock when that ball drops, we're going to head out. We were there till 12:15. We never headed out early, but got home at like 1:45. I'm not used to staying up that
That's a bit
late.
of a drive home for you.
Yeah, we went to Plymouth, and it's about an hour and 15. Not bad. So, but it was good.
Yeah.
Happy New Year's to everybody tuning in today. We don't have any guests either hour today, so we have questions that are open for anything. Anything about fixing your house, but this month always kicks off a certain month.
Right. It's the EPA's Radon Action Month.
Okay.
So
not awareness month.
Right. Yeah.
Action month.
Action means take some action, do something. And probably the simplest thing is to do a test. Because there is no way that anybody, and there are some myths out there, but there is no way that anybody can look at your home and say, oh, you probably don't have any radon in your house. If your house is in contact with the earth, there is radon in it.
It's a matter of how much.
Doesn't matter if you have a full basement or an exposed basement, a finished basement, an old basement, a crawl space, a concrete slab, any of those. If your house is in contact with the ground, there's going to be some radon. There's radon in the air outside. There's probably radon here in the studio and in the the 3rd
Food
Street
court.
Market Hall here. It was just radon everywhere.
It's in our air.
It's just a matter of, okay, when you're in an enclosed structure, your home, it can get trapped in there. We close our windows in the winter. We don't open our windows and doors so much as we do in the summer. And so now we're keeping that in the house. It's a naturally occurring gas that comes out of the ground as a result of uranium degrading over time. And when it degrades, it creates polonium and radium. And then when radium degrades, it gives off the gas. Can't see it, smell it, or taste it, but we can test for it.
And it's carcinogenic, right? That's
correct.
why we're concerned about it?
Second leading cause of lung cancer, only behind smoking.
Okay.
Right.
And so the action, first step, is Do a radon test.
Do a radon test.
And that's what you have in your hand?
So, yeah.
That's a heavy-duty one.
Yeah. So this is a continuous radon monitor. This is one made by Sun Nuclear. It's a company out of Florida. And there are some other brands made around the world and things. This is one. I have 2 of these. And it's as I said, a continuous radon monitor. It takes an air sample once an hour for however long I set I can set it for different hours. I can delay the start of the test and things. But we're looking for a minimum of 48 hours. That's kind of been the standard that the EPA and everybody's set for a test basically during a real estate transaction. If you live in your own home, it's not a bad idea to try to do a long-term test, and that's generally like 90 days or longer, just because the time of the year, weather changes can affect it. But usually in a real estate transaction, we're talking about short windows of time here, anywhere from 5 to maybe 14 days of inspection contingency of trying to get things tested and done. So we're looking at 48 hours to do a test. And this machine has no ability to make any noise or emit anything. It just sits there and air passes through it. And then I go and download the results onto my laptop, and we get a result over that 48 hours.
We're going to talk about the next action step if we find radon when we come back, but we'd also like to hear from you. 855-616-1620 is the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. The Fix-It Show, show number 1 of 2026 on WTMJ.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
The Fix-It Show live stream and podcast are brought to you by J&J Contractors. Visit jjcontractorsllc.com or call 414-423-9200 for your free consultation today. J&J Contractors, welcome home.
M.W. Marine.
The 6th annual Hales Corners Hometown Boat Show is back at M.W. Marine starting January 5th. Check out the newest fishing boats from Lund, Vexus, and Ranger, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Grab a gorgeous 2026 model or save big on remaining 2025 Mercury-powered boats with substantial rebates. So get to M.W. Marine starting January 5th. Free parking and free admission. Don't miss the Hometown Boat Show at M.W. Marine, mwmarine.com.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max, keeping you updated on culture and creativity.
The Wisconsin Film Office. We could say it out loud. It's going to happen. Academy Award winner John Ridley.
So I'm glad that Wisconsin is getting in the game. I hope they stay in the game. Wisconsin is great because it has so many different looks. It has so many different places. It has places that are untouched. It has places that are incredibly modern.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max, weeknights at 6 on WTMJ.
I'm Jim Token, representing the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. There are so many reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle at one of the 115 Adam member dealers. Adam dealers employ more than 6,500 people in southeastern Wisconsin, which supports thousands of local families. Adam also contributes to many local charities. For example, Adam recently completed their Change Your Oil, Change Lives promotion, benefiting Feeding America of Eastern Wisconsin. Over the past 15 years, they've raised over $953,000, which provided more than 3.8 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. These are just a few reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle from an Adam member dealer instead of a national online company with no ties to our community. To find an Adam member dealer, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Mend Studios. You deserve to feel better. You deserve to feel healthy. You deserve to feel great about yourself. Mend Studios has a long-term wellness as the goal. That's how they're going to do it. That's how they're going to take care of you. I know and trust the therapists at Mend Studio. They customize every single treatment, and they've got multiple locations. They're in Mequon and Brookfield, both convenient, both easy to get to. Start at the website, mendstudio.com. I never feel better than I do after a session at Mend. Mendstudio.com.
The Fix-It Show with Dayton, Kane, and David Nason on WTMJ.
7:16 on a Saturday. Thank you for joining us. It's going to be cloudy, a high of 25 today. We are going to hit 40s again this week, though, so that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Get out of the winter chill for a little bit.
At least melt the snow off the roof so I can look at roofs during my inspections.
Radon Action Month, which means we take action this month to see what kind of radon we have in our basement. Probably have some, because we're touching the ground, like you mentioned earlier. So we test it. That's the first step. Let's test it.
Right.
You can do that with your system that you have right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we have radon, what level are we looking at before we have to take a next action step?
So the measurement of radon is picocuries per liter.
Okay.
So I always kind of jokingly, I ask when I'm doing a radon test is, whoever's there, buyers, I was like, anybody a scientist here? Because I have had people say, yes, I am. It's okay. So you probably know a little bit more about the periodic table than I do and everything. So when picocuries is named after the person who developed something, I don't remember all that. I did take a 16-hour class on this, but anyways, picocuries per liter, we're looking for a level of 4.0 or lower,
or less.
Yeah. So if it's 4.0 or higher, the recommendation is to put a radon mitigation system in. So to mitigate something means to stop it. So we're looking to stop that level of radon from entering your home. You can't stop it completely. Back in 2014, when I got into, in 2013-14, I got into inspecting, I tested my house, and I was at 9.9. I live out in Connewauk, and I had a radon system installed, and I tested every once in a while, and it's at 0.7. So my radon system was working quite well. So that's
you
the
have
goal.
a workroom in the basement, and you have so you want to make
Laundry,
sure while you're down
my
there.
shop. Yep.
So when we tested mine when we bought the house, it was 3.9.
Mm-hmm.
Unfinished basement, or as my granddaughter calls it, garbage basement. So unfinished basement, 3.9. You said you're right on the fringe. Our laundry's not down there. Literally all we do down there is store stuff. I go down there, grab something, go back up. You're like, probably don't need a radon system put in, because that it's not going to be as high then as it gets to the next level.
Right.
Is that
exactly.
correct?
It disperses.
But I do have one now, and here's the reason why. For the next 3 years after that conversation, I kept hearing people say, well, it'll dry out your basement. It'll dry out your – we had a pretty humid basement that our dehumidifier was running constantly.
Right.
I think we're over a river or something. It was
You're
bad.
just in a low area.
It was bad. Yeah, it's a real low area. And so we put one in last year. For the first time, my dehumidifier is not running constantly.
Sure.
And the basement does not smell as humid and damp as it did before.
Right.
So now we're going to test my system again and see what it came out at.
Right.
So the radon system company did that like a day or two after. It was pretty quick. Like they put it in and then they tested it, and it was lower, but I want to see if now after months of use, if it's even lower than it was.
Right. Right. And the reason is, and people are wondering why this would change or affect the humidity in your basement, the radon system, this mitigation system, the technical term for it is a sub-slab depressurization system. So you're taking the air pressure from the earth that's pushing air into your basement and removing that pressure or taking it down. And so that system is tied into the drain tile that's underneath the concrete floor. And that drain tile ties into your sump crock. And so the radon system's not sucking out water, like bulk water, rain or groundwater, but it's drawing out air, and in that air there's humidity, there's moisture, there's water vapor in that air. So you're taking all that out and drying out that system. So you'll still get some water going into your sump crock, if it's working properly and everything. But you're on a daily basis, because these systems run 24/7, 365 forever. It will be drawing air out of that area completely or forever.
Now that you mention it, that's funny because my sump pump also used to always run constantly. And Saturday after Christmas, when we had all that rain, it rained all day long. I went down in my basement to listen to my sump pump. I'm like, is it working? Because it doesn't run like it used to.
Sure.
So it's just that constant airflow through those drain tiles help keep it from building up.
If you think about it, all the water vapor that's going out of there, it's I don't know that. I know somebody who probably knows the answer to this question, but I don't know how much water, per hour is in that vapor, that you're taking out.
I wish I would remember because Lifetime put it in my system, and they told me that number.
Yeah.
They said it'll draw this much water out of your house, and it was a lot.
Mike Sylvester probably from
Mike,
Lifetime,
if you're listening, text us in with the answer.
Yeah.
So good both ways. Obviously, we're getting the radon out. That carcinogenic that could be in our basement is going up. It goes up past the roof line, so it has no way to get into the house anywhere else.
It's got to go up past the roof line.
And so then it's out in the air, out in the atmosphere where
it disperses.
It disperses.
So everybody's putting all these radon systems out. We're filling the air with radon. Well, it's going to disperse. I mean, the level that's out in our air is so low.
We have a couple of questions about radon we'll get to when we come back. 855-616-1620. If you have questions, it is Radon Action Month. The Fix It Show is on WTMJ.
For 31 years, WTMJ homeowners have trusted Siding Unlimited to transform their homes into dream homes. From windows and doors to siding, roofing, and decks, our team delivers craftsmanship that lasts. Because we're not just remodeling homes, we're building relationships. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. We started right here in Milwaukee, and after 3 decades, we're still guided by the same family values that help us deliver quality, honesty, and local pride. Whether you're ready for a full exteriors facelift or just replacing a couple windows and a door, trust the team that's been serving Wisconsin families for generations. For siding, roofing, windows, and doors, let Milwaukee's National Contractor of the Year, Siding Unlimited, give you a free estimate and start the process today. Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com. That's sidingunlimited.com.
The fact is, without us, you'll pay more. When you buy advertising, unless you're seeking out every avenue that the chosen medium has to offer and negotiating with every entity to find out what the true floor is, there's no way you can know if you really did get your best deal. In fact, there's a big chance that you'll overpay. We've done all the legwork, and with a very high volume of consistent year-in and year-out billing, we've uncovered rates that we're sure will surprise you. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. The proof is in the pudding. Advertisers that hire us stick with us for years and years because they trust us, because we always promptly respond to customer needs, and because bottom line, we get results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com's Our Clients page to see who trusts us and check out a long list of real advertising success. Then hit the Contact Us button, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because it's time we grew your business. Anderson-Smith.com.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
We see you out there being an original, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, because you know we have everything you want and need at prices that give you the most for your money. Now that we're past the holidays, it's time to gift yourself assorted winter boots, 25% off. Large jugs of Aero laundry detergent, just $9.99. And select bags of Taste of the Wild grain-free or ancient grain dog food, $3 off. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
WTMJ's The Fix-It Show with David Nason and Dayton Kane.
You're right. I did like this song because it reminded me of Depeche Mode. But this is a local band, right?
Yeah, this is a group called Immortal Girlfriend. Unfortunately, it's 2 brothers, and one of them died, I think, on Christmas.
Oh no,
that's
so
bad.
Huge loss. They were huge in Milwaukee. They did a lot of like soundtrack work for like real movies and stuff.
Real movies?
Yeah, I think they were involved with like the Black Panther soundtrack.
Really?
So yeah, lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, cool sound.
Wasn't there a connection with the Black Panther to Milwaukee? I thought there was.
I don't know. Maybe.
No. Okay.
Yes, Isaac in the producer's booth playing our music for us. Looks like I did a little research. 15 gallons of water vapor per day a radon system can pull out of the air.
That's a lot of water.
That would explain why my sump isn't going. My sump pump's not going off as much. My dehumidifier's not running all day long like it used to. So yes, thank you for the recommendation.
Right.
You were one of the people who were telling me you should get a radon system, and it works.
And so when you have a radon system installed, one of the things that has to happen, because we're talking about pulling air from your drain tile, which includes your sump crock will have to be sealed. The cover has to be sealed. And my recommendation is that if you're having a contractor install it, if they don't automatically do it, and I think Lifetime does this, but they'll put a clear cover on it, like Lexan cover on it, so you can see into the crock. But then also make sure they put some kind of resealable port, like an inspection port. I've seen them where they use like a PVC pipe kind of fitting with a big nut on it, so you can undo it. 2 reasons: you can put your arm down there if you want and lift the float. But I think more importantly, because lifting the float, if there's no water in it, that's not going to tell you much other than it's making noise.
Right.
And
is it actually pumping water?
If you've heard enough sump pumps run, and I've tested a lot of them, you can tell, okay, is this working, or does it sound like it's actually the motor's frozen up? And so what I would recommend more is actually just pouring water in, whether you have a utility sink there and you got a hose or bucket or something, and fill the crock enough so that the float kicks on. You want it to actually work and pump water. So if you have some way that you can open and pour water in, then when you're done, it's because, like you said, if it's not running as much as it used to, you're like, okay, is it working? Because I want it to work when I need it to work.
Right. And I put in the new sump pump right before they sealed it up, right? Because I didn't want to have to take that off eventually and put a new one in. Right. So, and then I'm like, did I do it right? Did it? But it's running.
So you want to be able to test your pump in some
gallons.
way.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of water.
Let's get to some questions at 855-616-1620. I've gone through the radon actions and have a mitigation system. I would say if you have more time to test before, during, and after a heavy rain. That is when radon levels spike. That's interesting.
You can. The pressure of the rain on the ground, number one, with all this water falling on the ground, kind of pushing and soaking into the ground, that's going to push air out of the ground, number one. But number two, with rain, we usually have a low pressure system coming through.
Okay.
So now that's changing. You would think it might be the opposite, and maybe it is. But I mean, any environmental change, when they tell us about radon testing, we should try to avoid doing a test during any significant weather event, whether it's a heavy rainstorm, a really windy day, or a couple windy days. Even if we don't have rain, we did a couple earlier last week. Was it really windy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that moved on from us. And did you see what it did to Lake Erie?
Mm-mm.
You know what a seiche is? I'm totally off topic here.
No.
But it blew all the water from the west end of the lake to the east end of the lake, and out in like places like Sandusky, and they're walking out into there's no water. But anyways,
crazy.
So heavy wind events, really cold temperatures, really high temperature. We're supposed to avoid that. So
is that maybe why a 90-day test is recommended?
Exactly.
Because you're catching the general average of everything.
Exactly. And you're probably going to go through at least a change of a season.
Sure.
Whether it's from spring to summer or summer to fall, fall to winter. And so you're right. I would probably do it through summer to fall is probably not that big of a change, but fall to winter is. And then spring to summer would be a change. Like this person's saying, you're probably, spring showers kind of thing. So if you own your own home. And now I could let this. I think I could let this run indefinitely. I'm not sure. My radon monitor. Otherwise, these kits that you can buy at the store are very accurate, and you can let those set out for a while.
Okay, we're going to go to the newsroom, but get your calls and texts in at 855-616-1620. Radon Action Month going on in January. Let's go over to Elizabeth Linton. Good morning.
Good morning, Dayton. The United States has captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores in a large-scale military operation. President Donald Trump announced the news early Saturday on social media. The U.S. Attorney General says the couple will face criminal charges in New York. Maduro was previously indicted on narco-terrorism charges in 2020. The operation has drawn international reactions, with Colombia preparing for potential refugees and Russia condemning the action as an armed aggression. The State Department has urged Americans in Venezuela to shelter in place due to the situation. A man from Green Bay faces his 5th OWI charge after crashing into a Wisconsin state trooper. It happened just after 1 a.m. near I-41 and State Highway 29 on New Year's Day. A car veered out of its lane, hitting the trooper's squad while merging from the I-43 North ramp in Brown County. 49-year-old Jonathan Jeske was arrested for operating while impaired, his 5th felony offense. A rule change for the USPS postmarks might affect your bills, ballots, and tax returns in 2026. The postmark will no longer indicate what date a piece of mail was put into a mailbox or dropped off at the post office. The new rule says it reflects the date an envelope is first processed by an automated sorting machine. This could potentially be days after the mail was dropped off. This means any time-sensitive documents will need to be mailed days earlier than their deadlines to avoid late fees or other penalties. Customers can also request a manual postmark at the post office or use certified mail. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. At the moment, it's still all clear out there. No major incidents, no major delays.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly cloudy, high of 25. Overnight tonight, clouds increasing, low of 14. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 30. Monday, chance of morning snow, high of 38. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, high of 40. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, high of 40. Right now in Madison, it's 13. In Waukesha, it's 15. And in Milwaukee, we've got 16 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton in Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:33.
Are you seeking an experienced, award-winning contractor who provides unmatched plaster and stucco services? I'm Zach Emmons with Creative Construction of Wisconsin. As part of the 6th generation of our family-owned company, we have served the area for over 90 years, handling all types of stucco, interior, and ornamental plasterwork, from small repairs and remodels to large residential projects. Creative Construction staff has the skills to deliver quality results. Featuring NARI award-winning and certified professionals, our craftsmen match all plaster and stucco textures, adding custom touches as needed. Call 414-397-4072 or visit callcreativeconstruction.com for competitive pricing and a personalized approach. Creative Construction of Wisconsin, cutting-edge stucco and plaster techniques with homegrown family values. Call 397-4072 or visit callcreativeconstruction.com.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
More of your questions next. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Speaking of Depeche Mode, people are people, David. David Nason, Dayton, Kane, Isaac in the producer's booth. 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and text line. Let's say good morning to Paul in West Bend. Good morning, Paul.
Oh, good morning.
What's your question, sir?
I have a 140-year-old house, so it's fieldstone basement wall, and I have a deck, and I'd like to mitigate that, and I would like to know if I could run that PVC pipe horizontally, just because the way the house is, it's tough to get it out and get it vertical. So could I run it horizontally underneath of a deck, like 15 feet away from the home?
Oh, interesting.
I mean, can you? Yes. Well, let's back up. The state of Wisconsin doesn't have any laws, unfortunately, in my opinion, to regulate testing and or mitigation systems. The only law really that I'm aware of is that daycare centers have to be tested once a year. That's all we have in Wisconsin. So can you do that, and can you install it on your own? Yes. Is it what the EPA says to do? No, it's not. It really does need to be up in the air. The reason I see this every once in a while where somebody puts a radon system in and it just exhausts right at grade right there. So it's sticking out of the house, just like what you might see for your furnace and stuff. And I always make the comment, well, what if I'm doing some landscaping right there, pulling weeds or whatever, I'm going to get a blast of radon right in my face. So that's not ideal. And so if you can run horizontally,
So
but
mine-
it really needs to go up vertically.
Paul, my house, I have a crawl
Yeah,
space.
right.
So it goes up, it goes horizontally through the crawl space and out my wall, quite a ways actually. But then it does go up
Once
at
it's
the end
outside.
to get the radon up into the
Yeah.
atmosphere, not right outside the house.
And if it has to do that horizontally, you may need a bigger fan.
Right. I got the bigger
Yeah.
fan. Yep.
And also, that fan has to be outside.
Correct.
It cannot be inside the envelope of your home, which includes the basement. And
Could be in the garage.
It can be in the garage. It can be in your attic. It can't be within the living space of your home or in the basement where you would normally go and be there. If the fan is leaking a little bit or the piping on the opposite side of the fan is leaking a little bit, you're just dumping all that radon. So you want that pipe inside the house to be the entire length of that pipe to be under suction, basically.
Sealed. Yeah. And should you put that pipe in the center of the basement or along the edge is fine, and then how deep into the below the grade?
Yeah. So I don't know if you're the same person. Somebody else texted in. What if I have an old farmhouse with no drain tile? So a 140-year-old house is not going to have any drain tile. You may actually have to put a couple places where it's going to draw from, because what it's basically going to do is you drill a hole, put the pipe in, you seal around the hole. Yep. What it's going to try to do is just pull air from underneath the floor, underneath your concrete floor.
Yeah.
And so 140 years ago, or actually 140 years ago when your house was built, it probably had a dirt floor. And so that concrete was poured at some point. Did they just pour the concrete right over the dirt, or did they put some gravel down? If they put some gravel down, then there should be some air pockets that you can pull from. But if it's just concrete right over the clay, soil, dirt, it might have a difficult time actually pulling air from that space. If there may not be any space between the floors, so that might be that would be something I'd probably recommend having somebody like Lifetime, or there's other radon mitigation companies, have them come out and take a look and give you their professional opinion on that.
Great questions, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you
Thank
done
you.
it?
Thank
Have you
very
done a
much.
test?
Yes, I have.
Is
It's right on the border of,
Okay.
I've had a couple different tests where it's 3.5 and like 6, and I've had long-term and short-term. So kind of fluctuates. Kind of must be because of the pressure like you were talking about.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening, Paul. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
855-616-1620. That is the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line.
So similarly, we got somebody texted in. They live in the city of Milwaukee. Their home was built in 1952. They don't have a sump pump. So houses in the city of Milwaukee area, if you're built before 53, essentially 52, 53, somewhere in there, you most likely have a Palmer valve in your floor drain. And we've talked about Palmer valves when we got foundation people on the show, but it said, would a mitigation system benefit people who don't have sump pumps? Absolutely. You still have drain tile under your concrete floor. You just don't have a sump pump for the water to drain into. So that radon system would still tie into the drain tile, and it would work just like anybody else's. You just don't have a sump pump. Your Palmer valve kind of needs to be functional in order to maintain a suction on the system. And so functional meaning it has to be able to move. If it's stuck open or it's missing, that might make the system not work so well. And so they might need to do some other things there. I think somebody texted in about the city of the city of Milwaukee and about Palmer valves. If you have a non-functioning Palmer valve, you're really supposed to abandon it and have a sump crop installed. So you could have all that done at one time. And you're opening a little bit of a can of worms maybe.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing a radon system that might be $1,500, and now you're adding a sump pump that might add a few thousand more. So just do a test, see where you're at, and then talk to a mitigation company and see what they think.
One other thing I had to do when we were getting ours installed was we had that, what do you call it, around the edge of the basement. It was a weep system in case water was coming in.
You had drain tile work done.
Yes.
And so when they do a drain tile work or replace your drain tile, they'll usually drill holes in the bottom course of your concrete block wall. Mm-hmm. And that's basically to allow water to drain out of the wall. And then they put up, and I don't know the exact term for it.
It's like a corrugated.
It's a corrugated drain system.
Yeah.
So that the water that comes out drains down, and that corrugated product goes down and on top of the footing, and so it allows the water to drain into the drain tile.
And I had to seal that. I had to go around and caulk all of that closed.
My good friend Chris Mancuso is probably yelling at the radio right now, David, you should know what that's called and everything. And I'm not. I don't get technical stuff about that, but yes, that's that. You do have to seal that up. You have to caulk that. And sometimes, even if you don't have that, if you have a larger gap between the concrete slab and the foundation wall, just because your concrete floor shrank a little bit, you may have to seal that up as well.
We have more to get to. 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. Radon Action Month. It is the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Dreaming of a home renovation? J&J Contractors has been turning houses into dreams for over 40 years. From stunning kitchens and luxurious bathrooms to finished lower levels, they handle complete renovations that elevate your space. And don't forget about the outside. J&J Contractors specialize in roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Schedule your free consultation today. Just Google J&J Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard. But in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. Keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. On Prize Picks, you simply pick 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projections, and submit your lineup. Prize Picks now offers early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. So don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code SUNDAY and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code SUNDAY on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 in lineups just for playing. Guaranteed. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
The holiday season is here, and the countdown to 2026 has begun at Lake Lawn Resort. With all the holiday stress happening these days, imagine waking up next to a cozy fire in your own private suite along the shoreline of Delavan Lake. Enjoy much-deserved pampering at the award-winning Caladora Spa and special holiday dining options throughout the resort all month long, including at the signature 1878 on the lake. Book your holiday escape today, and don't forget to purchase those last-minute gift cards and receive free bonus money at Lake Lawn Resort, where the spirit of the season comes to life and everything is truly better at the lake.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me, not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Need advice? Call 855-616-1620. Our expert home inspector is here to help. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Everybody wants to rule the world. Packers-Vikings tomorrow at noon.
What are you trying to say, Isaac?
Packers-Vikings tomorrow noon, 9.5-point underdog.
Tomorrow, right?
The Packers are. How are we in the playoffs? I'm still confused at how this whole system works. But I'm glad we are. Maybe we can make something of it this year, or maybe we'll be out the first round again like typically.
I don't know. I have said this before. I think about the Brewers. When you go into the first seed, you got first round bye. I think there's a little bit of a letdown. You got to go into the playoffs, in my opinion.
As the underdog?
But, I mean, unfortunately, I like the Eagles. They kind of hit rock bottom. They have been playing well the last 2 weeks. That's what you need. You need the last 2 weeks going into the playoffs to be playing well. And I think,
we're not
playing every. No, we're not.
We're not.
We're resting Jordan Love, and we're missing Micah Parsons, but we picked up the other guy from Dallas, and so
that was an interesting pickup.
The last time that the Packers won the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, we didn't have home field advantage. Every game was a road game to get to the Super Bowl. We won, so it can happen.
It can. Let's go. Let's hope.
But now you got San Francisco. They're going to play at home all through the playoffs. Could potentially play at home for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's kind of crazy.
All right, let's get to some more of these texts. It says, Happy 2026. Any suggestions on how to limit radon exposure if you need to do some work in the basement? Maybe wait until warmer weather when the windows can be opened, or is it?
So that's a little bit of a myth as well.
Okay.
Is that opening windows and venting things can make it less? If you vent your basement, you could actually be causing more suction out of the floor and actually raising the amount of radon that bypasses you. You're standing there if the radon's coming out, whereas if you tighten things up, maybe less comes out.
Sure.
It's all pressure. And so we've had instances where I've had one where I set the test and I missed the fact that a basement window, it was a glass block window with a vent, and it was open. And we had enough time that when I came to do the inspection, I noticed that, and the test was, I didn't share the information, but basically it was low. And I said, we got a window open, and we can't have windows open during the test.
Right.
I closed it, and it was high when I came back to do the real test. So there's really no. Like I said at the beginning, you can't look at a house. You can't say, we got a lot of windows. We got a no basement. We can't. Every house has some radon. The only way to know what the level of radon is to do a test. The neighbor could have a sky-high test, and you could have a very low test. It's all about the soil underneath your house, the conditions of your house, how it's sealed up, and all that. There's really no way that nobody can tell you.
Okay, so we do have a text here, and we're going to get to this when we come back. It says, you're talking about radon as though everyone knows and understands what it is. I haven't a clue. Why is it important and dangerous? Well, we talked about it at the beginning of the show, so if you missed it, you can always go to the podcast, wherever you get your podcast. But we will answer that question as we wrap up this hour on radon when we come back. Great calls, great texts, 855-616-1620. Thanks for listening to The Fix-It Show.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Ever wonder what it takes to feel truly wealthy and financially comfortable? Schwab asked Americans that question, and most said at least $2 million. But here's the thing, your number might be different. And that makes sense because your dreams, travel, retirement, and the legacy you want to leave are unique to you. That's why you need advice that's just as personal. The team at Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen and help you build a plan that fits your life. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
The 6th annual Hales Corners Hometown Boat Show is back at MW Marine starting January 5th. Check out the newest fishing boats from Lund, Vexus, and Ranger, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Grab a gorgeous 2026 model or save big on remaining 2025 Mercury-powered boats with substantial rebates. So get to MW Marine starting January 5th. Free parking and free admission. Don't miss the Hometown Boat Show at MW Marine, MWMarine.com.
Everyone needs a plumber in their contacts list. And I've got yours, Vince Vetrano here. It's Horner Plumbing. We had a big job on the Vetrano home, needed to move the water hookups for the washer-dryer and refrigerator, and we turned to the trusted experts for more than 50 years in Southeast Wisconsin, Horner Plumbing. CJ and Kaylee, they did a great job at the house. All the follow-up with Horner was amazing, great work, and outstanding customer service. Residential, commercial, and new construction, HornerPlumbing.com. Have it in your contact list because when it's a plumbing emergency, that is not the time you want to start your search. I've got your plumber. Full-service plumbing, water heater repairs and installs, drain cleaning, garbage disposals, bathroom and kitchen renovations. Full-service plumbing. Free quotes and upfront pricing means no surprises. You want a deal? Tell them Vinny sent you, and Horner Plumbing will knock $50 off that first service. Get started now at Horner Plumbing. That's HornerPlumbing.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
I'm Jim Token, representing the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. There are so many reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle at one of the 115 Adam member dealers. Adam dealers employ more than 6,500 people in southeastern Wisconsin, which supports thousands of local families. Adam also contributes to many local charities. For example, Adam recently completed their Change Your Oil, Change Lives promotion, benefiting Feeding America of Eastern Wisconsin. Over the past 15 years, they've raised over $953,000, which provided more than 3.8 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. These are just a few reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle from an Adam member dealer instead of a national online company with no ties to our community. To find an Adam member dealer, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
David and Dayton. One guy knows what the heck he's talking about. We'll let you figure out which one it is. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Good alternative vibe today. 80s alternative. The Cure playing in the background.
College days.
David Nason, Dayton Kane here. Every hour of the Fix It Show is sponsored by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction. We thank them for that. Let's get to one question before we answer why is radon even a thing. Right. If radon mitigation system dries out the basement, what happens this time of year when the air in the house is already dry? Great question, right? So if you have a dry house and now this is pulling more water out from underneath your house, what do you do?
Well, a few weeks ago, we were talking about humidity in our homes.
Yep.
And you had a little meter, and I had one too. And you can buy an inexpensive meter that you just set on the counter, and it's going to usually tell you the temperature and the humidity in your home.
Yep.
And you want to have your home probably a comfortable level, no less than 30. Then it's going to be pretty dry, and your skin's cracking and everything, but really no higher than 50. So somewhere in there, and then maybe 40, 45 is kind of a sweet spot.
If you're at 48, 49, 50, and it drops to 20 below zero, you're getting condensation on your windows.
Right.
So in winter, keeping that air down in the 35-40 range is really what you want to be in winter.
Right.
That keeps you from getting shocked every time you touch something, but it then helps reduce condensation in the winter.
So check the humidity level in your home. And if it's low, well, then you need to add humidity somehow, a humidifier on your furnace or even just setting out, a bowl of water somewhere, just let it evaporate into the air, something as simple as that. So
remember the old days where they had one you plugged into the wall and you had to fill it every day and it had this big belt? Do they still sell those, you think?
Well, I imagine the people still have those. So now people have misters and things, it ends up in mist. But back to the radon, and somebody shared the link to the Wisconsin's Department of Health and Safety, and it's a fairly long link. You know what's easier? LOWRADON.org. Lowradon.org. That will take you right to that website that this person's referencing. Lowradon.org. Tell you everything you want to know and more about radon in the state of Wisconsin. It's a searchable website. You can look by zip code, all this kind of information. But real quickly before we end, the question, why is radon dangerous? If you missed the beginning of the show or never heard about radon, it is a carcinogen. It comes from degrading uranium in the soil. There's uranium everywhere, some places more than others. As it degrades, it creates polonium and radium. And as those degrade, and these are all radioactive materials, and radium gives off radon gas, and that's what we test for. It's we can't see it or smell it or taste it. It is the second leading cause of lung cancer. Behind smoking. So that's why it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And everybody really should have their home tested if you haven't. And so that's why it's the EPA's January is the Radon Action Month. So not awareness. Hopefully everybody's aware, maybe not everybody, but you should be taking action, doing something, doing a test, having a system installed. Many new home builders are putting a system in automatically as they're building a house. That's, it's so easy to do it. And if you have an existing home, it's also fairly easy to add it to your home. And we both have systems in our house, and they are drying out your basement. They're keeping your home healthier. It's just a good idea to do.
And they're non-intrusive. Like it sits in the corner. There's one little gauge on it that you look at, and if it's off kilter, it's working. Yeah. If if the U is even, your fan's not pulling air properly.
Be aware that's not telling you how much radon is or being exhausted or anything. The only thing that's telling you it's a water column measurement, but it's telling you that the system is actually functioning.
And wrapping up this whole hour on radon, somebody just texted in, FYI, some public libraries have radon detectors you can check out.
Okay.
Thank you for that. That's
great.
Good.
Yeah,
check that out at your local library if you can.
Absolutely.
All right, hour number 2, we're going to shift gears, so get your questions in about fixing anything you want to know about. 855-616-1620. That does it for hour number 1.
This has been The Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
We see you out there, being an original, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, because you know we have everything you want and need at prices that give you the most for your money. Now that we're past the holidays, it's time to gift yourself 2 packs of queen-size pillows, just $9.99. Shop Blaine's Farm and Fleet automotive or power sport batteries, and Blaine's brand cat litter pails, $14.99. Rewards members save an extra $1. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 17 degrees here in Milwaukee. Today, mostly cloudy, high of 25. Overnight tonight, clouds increasing, low of 14. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. President Trump announced that Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro has been captured after the U.S. conducted airstrikes inside Venezuela. Officials say Maduro was captured by the military's elite Delta Force. CBS News' Lilia Luciano.
The Trump administration has said for several months that they don't need congressional authority to engage in military strikes against alleged drug smugglers. They have cited the president's constitutional authority as commander-in-chief of the U.S. Army and Navy under Article 2 of the Constitution, whereas many others have cited Article 1 of the Constitution and Congress's inherent responsibility to declare war.
Maduro's government calling the capture an imperialist attack. New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani has promised to hit the ground running with a wave of plans to bring costs down for New Yorkers. News Nation's Mill Hayes has more.
We're looking at about $10 billion a year for his proposals, and that does sound like a lot, but New York City's annual budget is over $100 billion a year. And New York City's new mayor, Zoran Mamdani, says he was elected as a Democratic Socialist and he will govern like one.
Together, we will tell a new story of our city. This will not be a tale of one city governed only by the 1%, nor will it be a tale of 2 cities, the rich versus the poor.
The first executive order would revive the mayor's office to protect tenants, and 2 others would establish task forces to accelerate housing development. A woman from Oklahoma faces child sexual abuse charges for involvement with a Wisconsin child. 24-year-old Randy Cook allegedly communicated with the child from Northeast Wisconsin starting in November, convincing them to send sexually explicit images online. Cook then traveled to Wisconsin multiple times and sexually abusing the child at a hotel and a short-term rental property. She faces life in prison if convicted on all charges. 2 children are being evaluated at the hospital after a fire on Milwaukee's North Side Friday morning.
A structure fire broke out around 8:30 Friday morning near East Townsend Street and North Buffum Street. Fire crews arrived to heavy smoke from the second floor and attic, with a child hanging out of a 3rd floor window. Firefighters stretched the hose line and raised ladders at the same time, rescuing 2 children believed to be between 6 and 8 years old from the building. Both children were taken to the hospital to be evaluated. Everyone else inside the home was able to get out safely. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. In Milwaukee, Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Olympic hopefuls are taking the ice in Milwaukee this weekend with everything on the line. The U.S. Olympic team trials for long track speed skating and are drawing skaters from across the country. U.S. speed skating long track press officer Alicia Rumler tells WTMJ who to look out for.
Pay attention to Jordan Stolz. He's the golden boy. He's been having an electric few years on the ice here. He was an Olympian in 2022, and this is his year that we're expecting him to get a lot of medals.
Rumler also says to look out for Erin Jackson and Brittany Bow in the women's races. Sports traffic and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 8:04.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
There are some things in this world that are both free and priceless at the same time, like your grandma's Christmas cookies or a spectacular sunset. When it comes to home buying, AccuNet's rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval is both free, even though it's more work on our part than a slapdash bank pre-approval. And when it comes to making sure your home buying journey doesn't include any chest-clutching surprises and avoidable mistakes, it's also priceless. Sellers and listing agents recognize AccuNet's rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval as the gold standard of our industry. Not just because of our $2,000 guarantee, but because they know we've done our homework and that you're the real deal, especially if you need a bridge loan to buy that next home. You'll also like that our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and the mortgage folks with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Get started with your free yet priceless rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Why do we have so many successful long-term clients that started out with less than half of what they now invest in advertising? How are we able to keep our clients on the air 52 weeks a year with great weekly repetition, in some cases for over 15 years straight? Well, it's because our volume gets us access to rates that business owners can't get on their own. It's because repetition works, our buying style is efficient, and our messages sell. Go to Anderson-Smith.com because we help small business advertisers get better results. The arena we work in is where the rubber meets the road. If we don't get results, we're gone. Because with small business advertisers, any ad dollar spent counts. How many agencies can say they've kept small, locally owned businesses advertising 52 weeks a year for over a decade straight? How many have made shoestring budgets grow by over 1,000%? We can, because we get results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, hit the Contact Us button, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because it's time we grew your business.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Packers play the Vikings tomorrow at noon. The Bucks play the Kings tomorrow at 8. The Admirals play the Stars tonight at 7 in Texas. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. At the moment, it's still all clear out there. No major incidents and no major delays.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Buy a $100 gift card from the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant. Get a $20 gift card free. Boy, is that easy. Order online at mineshaftrestaurant.com.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly cloudy, high of 25. Overnight tonight, clouds increasing, low of 14. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 30. Monday, chance of morning snow, high of 38. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, high of 40. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, high of 40. Right now in Madison, it's 15 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 13. In Waukesha, it's 16. And in Milwaukee, we are rocking at 17 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Lintonen, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:07.
This is The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. When it comes to home repairs, we could all use a guy. Well, we've got the guy. And we've got the show. For all your home improvement questions, we've got answers. This is The Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Dayton, Kane, and David Nason.
Welcome to hour number 2. Before we get into the text, I have a question for you. So I was driving in and I saw that you can get a Bobby Portis debit card from some bank. I didn't even know which bank it was, but a Bobby Portis credit card. What celebrity would you put on a credit card, if any? Is there anyone you'd be like, ooh, if I could get that person's face on a credit card?
Do I have access to his bank account then?
That's what I was thinking. If it's his debit card I get to use, give it to me. But
then I want Elon Musk on my card for no other reason than I would have access to his bank account.
I think it's
right?
I think it's fascinating because I've seen the Bucks or the Packers, the Brewers, you support your team, but to have Bobby Portis on your debit card, I was like, what?
You got to be all in there.
I know that at one point we had a Mickey Mouse credit card, the Disney credit card, but I can't think of a person I would want to put on my debit card.
But probably the reason, like I said, I had a Bucks logo, but isn't he like all in on Milwaukee?
Well, yeah,
he came back
He's
here
a fun
for less
guy.
money.
He
is quite an ambassador for the city of Milwaukee. So that's probably a big reason why they're offering him on a card.
I would like to know how many people are taking that up and like, yep, I got the Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
Isaac, would you get the Bobby Portis?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we got one taker for sure.
Right. Oh, I don't have anything.
I'd be like, if I could look at Beyonce every time I pulled out my debit card.
Wow.
Or my wife. That's what I meant to say. Tracy. Okay, let's get into some calls here. Or text 855-616-1620. It's hour number 2. We're supposed to be talking fixing things, and I now need to fix my marriage if somebody could help me with that. No. 70s driveway in good shape until this year. Drive poured with cement stone mixture back in the day when they used to put stones in cement. After first snow, and then they saw a bunch of numerous holes in driveway where stones popped out. Most holes are about a dime to a quarter size, about a half-inch deep. They're thinking maybe they salted the driveway more than usual last year, and that's causing this. Could it just be it's from the 70s and it's like finally giving up the ghost? Or they're asking, what do you do? Can you repair this? Do you know anybody that can repair this?
So I believe the concrete, and I don't remember how long ago there was all this conversation about low chert. I think it was CHIRT, chert. There's something in the concrete, and I know there's probably a few people listening are like, yeah, they know exactly what it is and everything. I'm not a scientist into that, but I know there was something you could request a low chert mix, and I think that's just common today. The other thing is that they put these fiberglass, little pieces of fiberglass in the concrete now, and that helps hold the surface together. Oh. There's concrete mesh or a wire mesh in the concrete that would hold the concrete, but this fiberglass stuff, you could see it on the top of the concrete, and that would hold the surface together a little better. Salt is very corrosive to concrete. So I'm always saying if you have newer concrete, don't salt it. If you have pavers or stamped concrete or something, if you want to save that finish, don't salt it. There are some other things that are gentler to the concrete. As far as fixing a driveway, I don't know. If you try to put some kind of surface over it, it's just going to pop right out. Yeah. If it was a sidewalk or a porch, some of these epoxies or polyurea systems you can put on those because there's far less traffic. You're not going to be running a snowplow or cars over it. I don't think you find anybody doing, in our climate here, doing those systems on a driveway. Mm-hmm. So I'm at a loss. I don't know what you can do to a driveway where you're having all that spalling. I would say at this point, stop using salt. The only other thing I can think of is maybe not to hide the spalling and everything, but once we get into spring, summer, power wash your driveway, let it dry, and then use a concrete sealer, like a clear sealant.
To try to keep it from getting worse?
Worse, so you could seal the surface of the concrete so water doesn't soak in water, and then also salt, melting snow the following. So I would try to do that, but that's...
So like on the highways, freeways through Milwaukee, they had cement, mm-hmm. and now it's blacktop.
Yeah.
Can you go over a cement driveway with blacktop?
I've never seen it done residentially.
Yeah, it was weird to see it on the freeway.
But I believe they're probably using there's got to be a binder, and
right.
and Matt from CertaPro Painters talks about this, these binder primers. You got to have something that keeps the products, allows them or makes them stick to each other. So when they're doing that, what you also probably see is these big grinders, they're taking off a level of the concrete, an inch or something like that. Yeah. They'll shave off that level, but then it's really rough too. Mm-hmm. And so when they do these polyurea concrete garage floors, they'll come in with a grinder and they give the concrete a tooth. It's got to give the
something to grab onto.
Yeah, it's got to hang on to something, and then there's a binder in that material that's causing it to stick to that concrete so it doesn't peel up.
All right.
So maybe there's a way of doing that residentially. Check out, some of the larger paving companies. A lot of them are. We used, and I'm drawing a blank on their name. PLM is one of the companies out there. We used them at my church this summer for our asphalt parking lot. They also replaced some concrete steps. So they have a concrete crew and they have asphalt crews. So we had really good success with them. We talked to a number of companies. All seemed very good, and we ended up going with PLM. So I would give somebody like that a call and see if there are any options. They're paving experts. I'm not a paving expert, but that's what I know.
We're going to take our first break of this hour, 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. We have more text to get to when we come back.
analyzing the news from the perspective of those in the field. Hey, it's WTMJ's Adam Roberts. Join me every Sunday at 10 for Reporter's Notebook, where we take a deeper dive behind the biggest stories of the past week, told from the perspective of the reporters, anchors, and news directors making decisions behind the scenes and covering the stories you hear every single day.
Bringing you the story behind the story. It's Reporter's Notebook, Sunday mornings at 10 on WTMJ.
The Fix-It Show live stream and podcast are brought to you by J&J Contractors. Visit jjcontractorsllc.com or call 414-423-9200 for your free consultation today. J&J Contractors, welcome home.
She's been putting off knee surgery for years, and she had a trip coming up to Ireland, and she knew she was going to be walking a lot more than she had become accustomed to. So she finally took a chance and called for an appointment. And you know, it ended up helping her. She was able to do the walking and sightseeing pain-free. It led to an enjoyable trip, and I think we're going to be able to help her live a better life going forward. One that won't let pain stand in her way any longer. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and these are the kind of real-life stories I love to hear. Pain can take so much away from us, and when we can alleviate that kind of pain, it makes our purpose here at Rejuvenex that much more fulfilling. Don't let pain stand in your way any longer. Every day is precious. Take that next step. Schedule your appointment at Rejuvenex and start living your life again.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Take a look at our Google reviews to learn more.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
We can't help fix your relationship, but we can help with that leak. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
January 3rd, 2026, the first show of the new year. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dayton. That's David, Isaac in the producer's booth. Going to be cloudy with a high of 25 today, so not very warm, but we'll be hitting the 40s throughout the week this week. And this kind of pertains to it being cold outside. Joan texts in, "Good morning, David and Dayton. I have a wood-burning fireplace that I converted to gas logs a few years ago. Should I avoid using it during higher wind conditions? And if so, what do you suggest as a wind speed to suspend use? If it makes a difference, the back wall of the fireplace is 36 inches wide. The front opening is 48 inches.
That's a good-sized fireplace.
That is a pretty big fireplace.
Wood-burning fireplace. Big masonry. I'm picturing a big masonry.
But now it's gas.
Fireplace,
and
but now it's gas logs.
Should I do that?
So by the way, it's still a wood-burning fireplace. There is just a gas log in that fireplace. So when you look at things, a lot of fireplaces you're still considered a wood-burning, but now you put gas logs in. Unless maybe you replace the flue, I guess, if it's original.
Yeah.
But apparently...
there are some suggestions, like if the wind's getting over 20 miles an hour, you may not want it because it could blow back. It could extinguish the flame. It could send, the exhaust back into the house. To be honest with you, I had never heard of that. So we did a little research here during the commercial break, and Joan, obviously, somebody told her that.
Right.
But it's saying 20 miles an hour or higher, you may want to consider not using your fireplace. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because that happens a lot here in winter.
Well,
20 mile an hour winds.
So the concern is when you're burning gas, you have combustion gas, different than if you're burning wood. If you're
Right.
burning wood, you just got smoke. You're really, and creosote inside your flue. But it's not as dangerous as if the backdrafting of a gas appliance, which is why if you got carbon monoxide due to a faulty furnace or water heater venting improperly, same thing with a gas fireplace. You're going to get combustion gas, which is harmful.
Well, and if that blows out.
Yeah, now you got an open
you're
gas.
You're not paying attention and gas is just pouring into the house. That's
open
dangerous
gas
too.
valve. Yeah, right.
Okay, another one here at 855-616-1620. Good morning. I'm replacing all the door hinges on my interior doors. The screws that came with the replacement hinges are only a half-inch long, which don't seem long enough for our heavy oak doors. What length screws would you recommend?
I would agree completely. So those half-inch long screws are really just going to get you into the door frame. And depending on the age of the home, door frames these days, many of them are just a particle board with a veneer on them. So if you have solid wood doors, I believe you need probably at least a 2-inch screw to get through not only the frame, but then there's probably some space between the frame and then the framing, the 2x4 walls. That you need to get a screw to get into that 2x4. And so if you got a half-inch frame, maybe up to a 3/8 or half-inch space. So now you're almost an inch there. I think you need at least a 2-inch screw to get in there. Don't buy drywall screws. You can buy them and buy a box and everything, and they're great and everything, but they don't have any shear strength. They have gripping strength, but they really don't have any shear strength. They snap off very easily. So you want to actually get a construction screw. And it'll say on the box that these are construction screws, so they're hardened, just like a framing nail. That's why code doesn't allow you to build your house. It may be changed and everything until they came out with construction screws, but you can't screw your walls together. I mean, you're not supposed to, but I think a lot of people do because it's easier. But you got to be using screws that have been hardened so they have shear strength.
Okay.
It's rather than just gripping strength.
Great questions. Keep them coming. 855-616-1620. The Fix It Show is on WTMJ.
The 6th annual Hales Corners Hometown Boat Show is back at MW Marine starting January 5th. Check out the newest fishing boats from Lund, Vexus, and Ranger, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Grab a gorgeous 2026 model or save big on remaining 2025 Mercury-powered boats with substantial rebates. So get to MW Marine starting January 5th. Free parking and free admission. Don't miss the Hometown Boat Show at MW Marine, MWMarine.com.
I'm Jim Token, representing the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. There are so many reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle at one of the 115 Adam member dealers. Adam dealers employ more than 6,500 people in southeastern Wisconsin, which supports thousands of local families. Adam also contributes to many local charities. For example, Adam recently completed their Change Your Oil, Change Lives promotion, benefiting Feeding America of Eastern Wisconsin. Over the past 15 years, they've raised over $953,000, which provided more than 3.8 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. These are just a few reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle from an Adam member dealer instead of a national online company with no ties to our community. To find an Adam member dealer, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Everyone needs a plumber in their contacts list, and I've got yours, Vince Vitrano here. It's Horner Plumbing. We had a big job on the Vitrano home, needed to move the water hookups for the washer-dryer and refrigerator, and we turned to the trusted experts for more than 50 years in southeast Wisconsin, Horner Plumbing. CJ and Kaylee, they did a great job at the house. All the follow-up with Horner was amazing, great work, and outstanding customer service. Residential, commercial, and new construction, HornerPlumbing.com. Have it in your contact list because when it's a plumbing emergency, that is not the time you want to start your search. I've got your plumber. Full-service plumbing, water heater repairs and installs, drain cleaning, garbage disposals, bathroom and kitchen renovations. Full-service plumbing. Free quotes and upfront pricing means no surprises. You want a deal? Tell them Vinny sent you, and Horner Plumbing will knock $50 off that first service. Get started now at Horner Plumbing. That's HornerPlumbing.com.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life. At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work. Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation. Search AXIS Legal today.
Advice you can use. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Thank you for joining us. Going to be a cold Saturday, 25 for a high, but in the 40s this week. Dayton, Kane, and David Nason taking your calls and texts at 855-616-1620. No guest on this hour, so we can talk through anything about fixing your home that you'd like to, like Jeff texting in says, good morning. Is there a best brand of roofing shingles? And this is a biased question that you're going to get a different answer from a different person, I think. There's a lot of them out there. What did you say yours?
24 years ago, I had an Elk brand of shingles put on my roof. They've held out amazingly well.
Unfortunately, they're not around anymore.
Yeah, I did get a little bit of hail damage, but they're still holding up. They were bought. I think GAF bought them, but it's not the same shingle probably. Right. And Siding Unlimited uses CertainTeed.
We use CertainTeed, and the reason we do is it's a little bit thicker shingle, more asphalt than some of the other brands out there. Pretty much every brand's going to have a 50-year warranty at this point. More importantly, almost than the shingle you use, is who's putting it on, and that it's getting flashed properly, and that the work is done right.
Yeah.
You know, that's more important than even the shingle itself.
Right.
But we use CertainTeed because we think it's the best. There's other companies out there that use GAF because they think it's the best. So it depends on who you're talking to.
To your point, we've talked about this with literally all the products on the outside of your house, whether it's siding, windows, roofing. My opinion is find a good contractor, somebody that understands everything that they're installing, what the product is. They're following manufacturer's installation instructions. They're doing things right. Because you can have the best product, the best. If we're saying CertainTeed is the best, I mean it's a good product. But if you're saying it's the best, but it's not installed right, your roof's going to leak.
Right.
If you install a shingle that's maybe a little lesser quality, a little less expensive. I mean, everybody's installing dimensional architectural shingles today. They're considered to be a higher quality. They're going to last longer. But go find maybe a 3-tab shingle. Okay, somebody thinks it's lower quality, but if you install it exactly as it should be installed and all the flashings, like you said, the whole system, it's going to perform.
Right.
Maybe not last as long. That might be the issue, but you're not gonna have problems because it's gonna perform if it was installed correctly. So that's a bigger issue.
I was at a house this week, 8-year-old roof. We didn't do it. 8-year-old roof. They had gotten quotes for 20, 18, and 12. Pricing wise, $1,000 for the roof. Went with the 12, and it's now leaking. It's like maybe the 18 to 20 was the range you should have been in, and the 12 wasn't. To be fair, there are other things that could be happening because there are always other things that could be happening on a house. Right. So you got to explore all possibilities.
Ventilation of the attic is huge.
Even condensation from a fireplace. If you're heating up that whole fireplace chimney stack, and now suddenly it's really cold outside, and you're getting condensation built up around that. I mean, there's all kinds of issues.
The fireplace is leaking air into your attic. Are you venting your bath fans out of your attic? Yeah, that all should be part of your roof. When you're talking about a roof, it's not just what brand of shingles, and how much.
Right.
Yes, what brand of shingles? Are you doing all the flashings? What's the underlayment? Are you checking the ventilation? Are we switching from fixed vents to a ridge vent? Are making sure that you only have one type of vent going on? Are you going to the air vent seminar? January 13th?
I missed I saw the email and I didn't respond.
I can still get it to you.
I should. Yeah, 13th. It's always a good refresher to go to that every year.
If you're in any trade that deals with an attic, It is a great seminar. It's being put on. It's coming up here on January 13th in Milwaukee. The guy who puts it on is amazing.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, and it's free, and you can sign up. If you're interested and it's something you hadn't heard about or want to, you can reach out to me at 262-443-8958 or go to my website, contact me, and I can get you the link to the
BestInspectionsLLC.com
Right.
is the website. BestInspectionsLLC.com.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take a break, go over to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Elizabeth Linton, and a lot going on this morning, Elizabeth. Good morning.
Good morning, Dayton. Venezuelan ruling party leader told the Associated Press that Nicolas Maduro and his wife were at their home in Fort Tijuana military institution when they were captured. He said, quote, "That's where they were bombed," and he added, "That's where they carried out what we would call the kidnapping of a president and the first lady of a country." Officials saying that Maduro was captured by the U.S. military's elite Delta Force, Maduro's government calling it an imperial attack. No one was injured after a car crashed into an appliance store Friday afternoon near Fond du Lac Avenue and Capitol Drive. The Toyota went through the front window of the storefront after swerving to avoid another driver who ran a red light. A store employee said this was the third time in 3 years that a vehicle has crashed into that building. One woman is being treated for minor injuries. Officials say no one has been arrested. Thiensville's oldest family-owned small batch roastery gets new owners. Fiddleheads Coffee joins Fairwave Collective, the Kansas City-based group of specialty coffee brands that also owns Anodyne Coffee. Fairwave owns 10 coffee and tea brands throughout Kansas, Missouri, Minnesota, and Wisconsin since 2021. No changes have been announced yet on what will happen to Fiddleheads cafes or day-to-day operations. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. It's all clear out there. No major incidents, no major delays.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your no-pressure free-fi checkup by clicking on the blue button today at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly cloudy, high of 25. Overnight tonight, clouds increasing, low of 14. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 30. Monday, chance of morning snow, high of 38. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, high of 40. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, high of 40. Right now in Madison, it's 16. In Waukesha, it's 16. And in Milwaukee, it is 17 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton in Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:32.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
This is Tom Feza. When I have a roofing question, I contact Scott Klein, owner of J&B Construction, provider of high-quality exterior home improvement products and services since 1958.
Thanks, Tom. Between the two of us, we've seen hundreds of failed roofs, along with the unfortunate consequences of water damage. Poor workmanship, improper product usage, lack of ventilation, inferior flashing detail, and loss of control due to subcontractors are some of the most common reasons for roofs failing. At J&B, our objective is not just to sell another roof. We want to educate our clients. When J&B's experienced sales staff achieves that goal, our roof systems sell themselves.
For a complimentary roof evaluation, call Scott at 262-437-0537 or visit jnbconstruction.com.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
We see you out there being an original, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, because you know we have everything you want and need at prices that give you the most for your money. Now that we're past the holidays, it's time to gift yourself assorted winter boots, 25% off. Large jugs of Aero laundry detergent, just $9.99. And select bags of Taste of the Wild grain-free or ancient grain dog food, $3 off. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
You nothing but a hand dog.
If it needs fixing, we can help. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Cry all the time. Well, you're never confident on no friend of mine. When you said
Who's this? I should know by now. This is like the third or fourth time he's played that artist.
It's Eilert Pilarm. I couldn't find an 80s alternative band fast enough, and that was just the first bump that I saw.
Okay.
855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. Somebody asked, bathroom and kitchen contractor, ? There's so many out there. That's a tough one.
There really are a lot. Nary is a good source for finding a good contractor. Next weekend is the MBA show. That's a Metropolitan Builders Association show, but there are plenty of remodeling contractors in that show as well. So the Nary show is coming up again in probably February.
Yeah, February.
Yeah, so there's a good, but probably the best is to talk to friends, get referrals, see what other people have done. And like I said, the NBA show is coming up this weekend at State Fair Park.
Is that where it is? That's what I was just looking up here. You can purchase tickets online. It's the 9th through the 11th. So check that out. It's just easy enough. Just search MBA show and it comes up. MBAbuilds.com. Okay.
I have not hired a bathroom or remodeling contractor myself.
Yeah, I've never had to.
So if I had a personal experience, I would give you a name. But those are good sources.
Have some condensation coming from bathroom fan. Could it be a roof vent flapper problem? Only happens in the winter months.
So my guess is, without seeing this particular home or attic, is that for a long time, bathroom exhaust ducts were either just a metal duct or the white vinyl duct, these flimsy ducts going out. Sometimes they would, for a long time, they would have this loop, a drip loop kind of in. It was intended to collect the condensation, and then it would evaporate eventually. But if it's just a straight duct going outside and it's not insulated, then the warm air going out of the fan or out of the bathroom through the fan is probably condensing in the duct before it gets outside, and then the condensation is rolling back.
Tripping back in, yeah.
So couple things: exhaust fan ducts should be as short as possible, if at all possible, and also they should be insulated, just to allow that warm air to get out before it becomes cold air and the condensation ends up back in your bathroom. So heating contractors are generally the ones who deal with ductwork and things like that. If you're not going to get up there in your attic, and probably not a good idea to get up there yourself and do all that so you don't fall through the ceiling. So give a heating company, Capital Heating and Cooling probably does stuff like that.
And if they fall through your ceiling, they're insured.
So. Right, exactly. So.
Okay, another question coming in on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Is it recommended to put polyurea on the garage floor if there's a long crack, gap in height difference is 1/8 of an inch, meaning does it still offer some protection, or would money be better spent elsewhere?
So I believe those systems can deal with that small of a crack or a height difference. That's really not that large in the whole scheme of things. I believe the Metropolitan Builders Association, in their standards, say cracks in concrete don't need to be addressed until they're 1/4 inch in height or width or more.
Sure.
And so an 1/8 inch is really. What I had said before, they'll come in and they'll grind the surface of the concrete down, so they may even be able to eliminate that height difference. And then if it's a crack, if there's a gap there, they'll put a sealant in that crack also, and before they put the system over it. So if you're really interested in doing it, have them come out. Have Certapro Painters does it. There's other companies that do it as well, and have them come and take a look at it. But I'm fairly certain they should be able to deal with that.
Other than it looking nicer, what's the benefit of it?
Much easier to clean, maintain. Probably add some value to your home.
Does it fight salt better than just a concrete floor falling?
Yeah, it's pretty resistant to that.
Okay.
Very easy to just wipe it out, hose it off, and clean it out. I think so many people, when you add that to a space, and then you got some good lighting, it just makes that garage so much more than just a place to park cars.
Yeah.
And so but I believe it also adds some value to the home.
So our house was built in 1940, and we've got a garage, and it's a little smaller. It's not like these fancy garages of today, right? So we got a new vehicle yesterday, and it's a
Does
little
it
Honda
fit?
HRV versus pulling in the big old Nissan
Oh,
Pathfinder.
okay.
And I'm like, whoa, this garage seems huge all of
Yeah.
a sudden, because we had a Highlander and a Pathfinder sitting in there, and it was just like, that's all you're putting in that
Right.
garage are these two vehicles. So it was nice to get a little bit smaller vehicle
So
in there.
your company vehicle gets to sit outside now?
Yeah, it's where it's sitting. I'm going to have to scrape ice off
Yeah.
every morning I go out to do the job.
Mhm.
But what can you do? I only
Yeah.
have a 2-car garage. So that wasn't my choice.
No.
855-616-1620. That is the WTMJ Talking Text line. We'd love to hear your questions. There's no guest this hour, so we can talk about anything when it comes to fixing your home. Thanks for listening to The Fix It Show.
Are you seeking an experienced, award-winning contractor who provides unmatched plaster and stucco services? I'm Zach Emmons with Creative Construction of Wisconsin. As part of the 6th generation of our family-owned company, we have served the area for over 90 years, handling all types of stucco, interior, and ornamental plasterwork, from small repairs and remodels to large residential projects. Creative Construction staff has the skills to deliver quality results. Featuring NARI award-winning and certified professionals, our craftsmen match all plaster and stucco textures, adding custom touches as needed. Call 414-397-4072 or visit callcreativeconstruction.com for competitive pricing and a personalized approach. Creative Construction of Wisconsin, cutting-edge stucco and plaster techniques with homegrown family values. Call 397-4072 or visit callcreativeconstruction.com.
Planning for 2026 starts now. The best way to start is to reach out with your design ideas, and we'll work on putting together a winning game plan and design set for a 2026 install so you can enjoy hanging out next year on your beautiful new deck. And lock in on discounted pricing before the 2026 price increases. A great way to save money on your next project. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Call with your problem. We'll try to solve it. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
8:42 on your Saturday. Thanks for joining us on the first Saturday of the year, 2026. David, have you written that on anything yet?
Not with my pen.
No.
On a spreadsheet.
Okay.
I've done that, but not by. I haven't written out a check. Maybe for church tomorrow, I'll write out my first check of the year.
Not many people writing checks often these days like we used to. So okay, let's do.
I have to check when I get a check today about people writing them correctly. Unfortunately,
really,
yeah. If you write out the numbers different than what in the line where it's written out,
sure.
If that's different than what the number is they look at the written.
Okay.
What's written out, $345. If you write $305, they'll give me $345. But if it's reverse, if it's $345 in the slot, but then it says $300, they forget the 45. They only cash it for $300. I don't know if you know that.
And
then, or people forget to sign it or date it.
So you got to look it over when you get it.
A little bit. I've had to ask people to rewrite a check or complete it or something. So it's just going away. Yeah, people tell, I haven't written a check in months. Well, I take Venmo, take Zelle, cash is king.
That's right.
As long as the print's dry.
That's right. Or the digital transfer happens. So what's sitting in front of you there?
I have a thermal camera or infrared camera, and I'm just going to say I am not a trained thermographer. So that's the term for somebody who has gone through the training on how to use an infrared camera if you're using it in a professional manner, like a home energy audit, that kind of thing, or anything. I just use it as a simple tool, just like the moisture meters that I have,
Sure.
Surface moisture meter. And in a home inspection, I'm just using it in some of the other inspections I'm using it in a trained fashion for if I'm doing an EFIS or a stone veneer inspection, that I'm trained for. But just a moisture meter, you put it, oh yeah, we got a little moisture here. And all it's doing is telling me that, hey, there's something here that probably shouldn't be, and it should be looked at further. And so some of the more professional models are very expensive. Infrared cameras like this are quite expensive. And there's a inspection company out in Minnesota that's been around a long time, very well known nationally. And the owner of the company reviews products from time to time.
Okay.
And he came out and reviewed this one, and he said, for the bang for the buck, this is a great product. It's a Thermal Master, and it's just under $400. And I thought, boy, I can do that instead of $3,000 for something that I use once, maybe twice a week, and I'm not using it all the time. But it's great. It's showing temperatures, so I'm looking around the room. The monitors showing hot, and basically what I'm using it for most of the time is for water. Water's a big part of what I do. Home inspections or other things like, okay, is something wet? If it's wet, it's going to show up darker than the area around it because that material, the water is evaporating, so it's going to show up as a cooler temperature. And so that I'll look at something, oh yeah, we got an issue there, and then I use my moisture meter or something, and then I can comment, okay, this needs to be looked at. It doesn't necessarily tell me exactly what's going on, but like I said, it's just another tool to help me be a better inspector and to give people a better idea of what their potential problem, because you could look at something and maybe depending on the paint finish or something, you're not seeing a water stain, but then I pull this up and like, oh, we got a problem here. I just used it at a house last Friday, and yep, they had a water like a water ice dam. They had water coming in. They pulled this up, and we found that there's insulation missing. I mean, clearly you're looking around the room, there's clearly some insulation missing. This is a very difficult kind of an octagon-shaped room with a unique roof and everything. But so they're going to need to have somebody come in and evaluate the insulation that they have there and try to get that better, whether it's through blowing insulation or spray foam or something. So
that's our cool tool of the day. And what's it called again?
Well, this is an infrared camera or a thermal camera. It's made by Thermal Master.
So if you have an extra $400 laying around, you want to get one?
Yeah. I mean, they have some that you can plug into your iPhone or your Android phone and everything. I just thought this would be a little bit better. One of the neat things about it, I can take a picture with it. So it's a camera.
Oh.
And what it does is so if I look at that corner up there and I take a picture with this, it takes a picture of like you would like a regular camera of what we're seeing there. And then it takes a picture in the thermal mode.
Cool.
So you can compare the two. This is what we're looking at. Oh, and this is what this camera is seeing.
Okay.
So it's not in a way, it's kind of seeing behind the walls a little bit because we can't see through walls. At least I can't.
No.
Yeah.
And those little glasses that I got off the cereal box didn't work
right,
either.
or in the back of my comic book. Yeah. So it's a neat little tool. Like I said, just one more thing to help me out.
Our final segment of our first show of the year coming up next. We'd love to hear from you. 855-616-1620. Looks like a couple more radon questions to wrap up the hour coming up on the Fix It Show.
When snowstorms hit and the roads turn slick.
These slick roads are pretty brutal.
When school closings start rolling in and traffic slows to a crawl.
The snowfall closing schools in Kenosha.
We've got the latest updates on forecasts and everything else you need to know during severe winter weather. Find Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts on air and online at WTMJ.com or on the WTMJ mobile app. Stay safe. Stay informed with WTMJ.
Everyone needs a plumber in their contacts list, and I've got yours, Vince Vitrano here. It's Horner Plumbing. We had a big job on the Vetrano home, needed to move the water hookups for the washer-dryer and refrigerator, and we turned to the trusted experts for more than 50 years in southeast Wisconsin, Horner Plumbing. CJ and Kaylee, they did a great job at the house. All the follow-up with Horner was amazing. Great work and outstanding customer service. Get started now at Horner Plumbing. That's HornerPlumbing.com.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory's arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drug driving, and let's achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Departments of Health Services, Transportation, and Justice.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
I'm Jim Token, representing the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. There are so many reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle at one of the 115 Adam member dealers. Adam dealers employ more than 6,500 people in southeastern Wisconsin, which supports thousands of local families. Adam also contributes to many local charities. For example, Adam recently completed their Change Your Oil, Change Lives promotion, benefiting Feeding America of Eastern Wisconsin. Over the past 15 years, they've raised over $953,000, which provided more than 3.8 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. These are just a few reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle from an Adam member dealer instead of a national online company with no ties to our community. To find an Adam member dealer, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Making it a great Fix-It day. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Bodines to help wrap up the hour.
Yeah, right.
Not quite alternative 80s like we've been playing, but still a good song. Milwaukee band. Side Unlimited J&B Construction sponsor us every week. Thank you to those guys for doing that. A couple of radon questions to wrap it up, it looks like. Hi, guys. One more radon question. Do cracks in basement floor affect radon readings?
It can, yes.
Because it's allowing more air to come up, right? Is that
right?
It?
I mean, so is it going to affect the reading? It's going to, yes, it'll affect the reading. It also may need, they may need to be sealed when the mitigation system's installed.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise it's going to pull air. It's not going to get the suction that it needs. It's going to be pull air from the basement. You want it pulling from underneath the floor.
Okay, next one says, I have a radon pipe that goes from my basement through my garage up the roof that gets mold out on the garage part of it. I brought some Frost King cotton insulation multi-purpose with our value of 4.0, was going to wrap the pipe in insulation. Do you think this is a good idea, or is there something better I could do? I was, of course, going to clean the pipe first with some bleach.
Yes. Clean it with warm soapy water. Dawn dish soap. Bleach is a disinfectant. Not a very good cleaner, so wash it down with warm soapy water first. And then, yes, insulation is a good idea. Your garage, unless it's heated, gets cold in the winter, right? And you're pulling air from underneath that floor, and I believe it's anything below the frost line, So 8 feet down is somewhere around 52 or 56 degrees year round. Doesn't matter how cold it is outside or how hot it is outside. It's in that 50-degree range, which when your garage is 10 degrees, you got temperature difference, you're going to get condensation on the outside of the pipe.
And then that's turning to
And then it gets dirty. You know, PVC pipe can't support mold growth, but if it's dirty in the garage, there's fumes from your cars and everything, and then the mold will eat on that. So adding insulation to it will definitely help that.
So for those who missed the first hour, what is this month?
It's Radon Action Month.
Radon Action Month.
Action. Do a test, have a system installed, something.
Yeah. Because radon is a carcinogen.
Right.
And we want to get it out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And 4.0 is like action level.
That's
anything below that, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great way to use a radon system is to dry out your basement if you need to. We discussed all that. So if you ever want to see a full hour on radon, go to this website, WTMJ.com, and you'll be able to hear the show there if you missed the first hour, or you can always get it where you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff.
That same person who texted that said they have their dryer in their garage. Why is your dryer in your garage?
It's also next to my dryer in the garage, which is heated to
45 degrees.
So the garage must be heated to 45.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that they're still getting that then.
You're making your wife go out in the garage to do your laundry?
Sure. It's better than going in the basement.
Is it?
Yeah, and why is the wife doing the laundry, David Nason?
I was waiting for that reaction. I do my own laundry.
So do I.
I do my own laundry
She does
every
hers,
week.
I do
Yes,
mine. And you
right,
know why
so-
that happened? Because I would ruin her clothes if I ever tried doing hers. She's like, do not try doing my laundry.
Yeah, sure.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
all right. But it's
I was just joking.
Getting yourself in trouble? We're both getting in trouble today.
Right.
All right. So anything planned for this coming week that is going to be interesting to talk about next week?
I'm going up to near Shawano on Thursday.
For
looking at a legal case. I don't know.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
see how much
All right.
I can talk about it. But, I mean, I do home inspections basically within 50 miles of my house in Oconomowoc, unless you really, if you're listening and you can hear us somewhere, you really want me to come, we'll have to talk about travel costs.
Right.
But basically within 50 miles of Oconomowoc. For legal work and other specialty inspections, I'll go around the state. But again, there's always costs involved with me traveling to that, but I can do that.
Okay, so my plan this week is to get a radon test done by you, and we'll see how my radon system is performing, because we're going to talk about this again next week, right?
Right.
Another text just came in quick at the end here. The static electricity created by the airflow through the pipe also attracts dust and dirt. Interesting.
Yeah.
See?
We got some smart listeners.
That's why we love hearing from you on the text
Exactly.
line, and we'll do it all again next week because every Saturday from 7 to 9 o'clock, it is the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Appreciate all your questions today.
Very interactive today.
Interactive show today.
Which always makes it better.
Definitely.
So we will do it again next week. Rose Gray and the Fox World Travel Show coming up next.
This has been the Fix It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Dreaming of a home renovation? J&J Contractors has been turning houses into dreams for over 40 years. From stunning kitchens and luxurious bathrooms to finished lower levels, they handle complete renovations that elevate your space. And don't forget about the outside. J&J Contractors specialize in roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Schedule your free consultation today. Just Google J&J Contractors or call